Welcome back to our Bluesy Water channel. We recently introduced a new product to our store. It's called the BG60. That stands for Brown's Gas 60. 60 being 60 liters per hour of gas. And I want to go over this therapy. It's one of the most vital therapies that one can do. And it's important to understand how to do it properly, particularly if you have a lot of health challenges. So I'm going to just, first of all, show you the product. So this is the BG60. Brown's gas is essentially hydrogen therapy with cofactors. The cofactors being oxygen and plasma state water, 4-stage water. That's not liquid, that's not ice, it's not gas, it's actually a plasma. So these cofactors deepen the dimensionality of the therapy, but most of the research is based on hydrogen directly. So I want to get right to it. If one has health challenges, there's two key factors in terms of success. One is the amount of gas you're breathing per minute, and the other is how long you do it for. So if you're really chronically ill, you're going to break in and essentially work up to doing this all night long, and then even more in the day. The key action of the therapy is its permeability. The hydrogen molecule is so tiny that it can permeate into very toxic terrain. This is why it works on chronic state illnesses. So if you have nerve damage or cellular damage, it's going to seep into that cellular terrain where there's great damage and gradually create repair on damaged cells. Now, the therapy is advocated as an anti-inflammatory therapy and a oxidative stress therapy, but I would essentially put it forth as what I call a cell permeable homeostasis therapy. In other words, it helps the body heal itself. Without the cell permeability, this therapy wouldn't work. And over the last 5 or 6 years, I've really looked for therapies that can essentially dive into very toxic terrain. If you have a bad heart, a bad liver, you need a therapy that can go into that organ, permeate, get to the cells, and start a healing process. Now, there's no miracle cures. This takes time, and it takes the proper thresholds to make this therapy work. Even with all the proper thresholds, you still need time. But the thresholds, once again, is that you need to do it for long periods of time, and you need to get ample amount of gas into the body. Now, if you were to put excessive gas into the body would essentially just slough it off. So there's research out of Asia that is dealing with 3 liters per minute for cancer. These machines are extremely expensive, but they're using a threshold of 3 liters per minute. The BG60 puts out roughly 1.1 liters per minute. We advocate if someone's really chronically ill and has the funds to buy 2 of these machines and tether them together, and then you're at around 2.3 roughly, anywhere from 2.2 to 2.3. And now the amount of gas, by the way, varies as the machine warms up, it puts out more gas. And so we put it at around 2.3 if you did 2 machines together. This is flooding the body with lots of gas. And anybody who would want to buy 2 machines would definitely give you a discount. And so if you are in a really challenged state, you would break in, do 2.3 liters for several hours at a time, and then potentially, depending on whether you could sleep or not, even use it overnight while you sleep, or at least use one of the machines. Now, the 1.1 liters is an ample amount of gas. We're not saying that that's not sufficient. If you have the funds, I would recommend ideally pumping the 2.3, 2-3 hour spurts, maybe even 5, 6, 7 hours a day, then breathe all night long. This is going to be a most advantageous therapeutic approach. And flooding the body with gas, this is where the research is going, is critical. Now, one quick note, there are some people out there trying to scare people about the danger of explosion. This machine is built safely. If there ever is a spark, it has what's called flashback. There will be no explosion. There will be simply a poof. And this machine was designed to handle any kind of spark, ignition, et cetera, et cetera. So it is not a dangerous therapy. And there are many, many companies doing high volume gas. There is only one company trying to scare people, saying that this is a dangerous therapy and you need to turn down the gas. If you turn down the gas and you're chronically ill or you're challenged in health, you essentially, it's very self-destructive, because you need this therapy, and to be afraid of it is a sin. So just keep in mind, this is very, very safe, and you really need to question and start to do the research if you hear anybody tell you this isn't safe. You know, you go to you pump your car, go to the gas pump. No one fears pumping gas. You light up you turn on your stove. Millions and millions of people breathe oxygen. So, of course, there are dangers. There's common sense. I wouldn't light a match. But even, I know a story where a gentleman actually was pumping out a lot of gas, lit up a cigarette foolishly, and the explosion, as we say, went back to the machine. It's never going to hurt you. Anybody who's telling you that doesn't understand the basic physics of the dispersion of the gas once it leaves the cannula. Okay, so let's get back to the health issue. Once again, if you're very health challenged and you can afford to buy 2 machines, we'll give you a discount, and you'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 2.3 liters. The machines at 3 liters range from $6,000 to $12,000. So you can buy 2 BG60s at a list of 3,200, but we would 3,270, but we will give you a definite discount. So it's affordable, it's therapeutically a must. But again, if you're just doing the 1.1 liters, then I would recommend all night long, and then additionally in the day, if you're very health challenged, just keep going, and watch your progress month by month by month. Be patient, but really, please, I implore everybody to understand therapeutic, what I call therapeutic threshold. There's a doctor, and this is another therapy we sell called ozone therapy. And I recently learned, this is just a quick aside story, he had cancer 3 times. And basically what he told me, if you're sick and dying, this is another gas therapy, ozone therapy. He said you need to crank up the gas to very high output, lots of volume of gas. And that's what saved his life. It's very much the same with this therapy. You need to get it to high volume gas, lots of time. Now, the thing with ozone is you just can't do it for hours and hours. In his case, high volume gas meant maybe 6-7 minutes infusion. And, there's a sort of concentration that's pretty much standard with ozone, but he upped the time to 6-7 minutes. In other words, the volume of gas in his body went up tremendously. The beauty of this therapy is you literally could do it 24/7 if you wanted to. So now your time is your friend. Just make sure you're flooding the body with ample volume, lots of time, and then watch the healing process. Now, we have many other additional therapies that go along with this therapy. This supports so many other therapies. And in our next video, we're going to discuss how this therapy supports and works with other therapies. Also, we have a really good interview here. We discuss why more gas is better. We discuss this issue of explosion. We discuss this entire therapy, how to do it. There's 3 ways you do this therapy: breathing the gas, drinking the water, bubble the gas into the water, drink the water, and then direct application. Okay, so also right here, this is a little background about me. And then we have a research blog. You can go into there and look at the research. We have a setup video, how to use video, how to clean the machine, and then how to install the tower. So this is a very simple machine to use, very easy to maintain. We recommend treating this machine with great care and doing a deep citric acid cleanse, especially if you're using it heavy duty once a month. It's very easy to do, and you'll get longevity out of you'll get a lot more life out of your machine when you clean the electrodes. So just to summarize, more gas, more time. That's the message of this video. You need a machine that can put out ample amount of gas. If you have any machine, other machine that you're using, if it's a variable setting, crank it up all the way to 100%. And please, all the time, 100%. We sell another machine through Promo Life called the H2. It runs at one setting, 100%. The machine for cancer out of Asia runs one setting, 3 liters per minute. More gas equals better therapy. The worst case scenario is you'll slough off the excess. And you can always do less time. I mean, if you're healthy and you do an hour and it makes you feel great, fine. If you're really challenged, I mean, there are so many people with brain challenges and nervous system disruption and all kinds of health issues. Now, one thing I want to be clear, and we'll go over this in the next video, this isn't an end-all be-all therapy. If you look at our store, you'll see a lot of therapies that deal with infection, toxicity in the body. This will provide deep cellular therapy and underlying strengthening of the body. But you need to understand that if you have, like, for instance, injury, I'm a body worker, you then need to do structural work. If you have specific organ issues, you need to focus in on those organs. If you have toxins in the body, there's specific detox protocols we recommend. But this will support all these other therapies. And once again, this is something I have found. There's not many therapies that literally get to every cell. And as far as cellular permeability, this is number one. So this is an important principle. If you can get to every cell, deep into the cell, that's extraordinary. PEMF is another microcellular therapy, by the way, and we have a few others. We can always send you a chart with some of our key therapies and explaining their actions. And once you can really understand what each tool does, what its action is, and you understand what your underlying issues are, then you can set forth a program and engage these tools wisely. If you have any questions, please contact me, Andrew at bluesywater.com. We'll also post my phone number below. Thank you.